I'm Brenda.
And I'm Christy. We're two friends from high school who are connecting and reconnecting over music and memories.
Welcome to Normal Bias Podcast.
We're glad you're here.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Christy. Welcome back to Normal Bias Podcast. I almost forgot what to say. It's been 4 weeks since we've recorded.
So what we've been sitting here laughing. We've been talking for about 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
When it was time to start, Brenda jokingly said, I forgot how this works.
I seriously have.
Yeah. And here we are.
And here we are. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. I have missed you.
I missed you too.
I have really missed you.
I'm not used to recording at night, so it's all dark at my house. Brenda's just light fixture in her kitchen gives us perfect light, and I'm like, gosh, if we start recording in the evenings, I'm gonna have to bring the ring light in. I'm gonna have to do something about this lump in my head. Maybe I just need to sit up so I don't see the top of my head with the lump.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I know I didn't. As soon as you sat down, you said, "Oh, do you have your ring light?" I was like, "No, it's just my kitchen light. It's so bright. It's really very bright. It has 5 light bulbs, and for a while I took 2 or 3 of them out because it was so bright. But then I put them back in recently. But so yeah,
it seemed like you needed to change light bulbs, could you?
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right.
So,
okay. So it is so we're recording this on July 27th on Monday.
mm-hmm.
We'll air it on the 29th, but Saturday, July 25th, I just want to jump right in.
Okay.
Part of something really cool.
I was part of something really cool. And
first, before you tell us that, I want you to take us back to a year ago. A friend of ours we graduated high school with,
mm-hmm.
She and her husband is your ex-husband's best friend. So
yep.
You guys have been friends this whole year. We've stayed in touch through Facebook and class stuff. She's amazing. She wrote a book. You show up at the book signing, and then what happened?
I show up at the book signing, and so yeah, and I hadn't seen Dawn. I can't remember the last time I'd seen Dawn, probably before even the book signing. So her book comes out. I was so excited. I go to the book signing. It was just so cool to see your friend be at a book signing at the table, signing books and stuff. And so there was a bunch of people there. And then I got there towards the end of the book signing. So after that, they invited me and, some of the other people that were there to go over to a restaurant and just down in the same little shopping center, which was really cool shopping center because right across the street is from in Houston, Lamar High School. And I don't know if you know, but that's where Dawn was a principal for a little while. Was she a principal there or a teacher there? And then went to Memorial. I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was cool. We were there. So we go to the restaurant, really cool and fun place. I'd never been there. And we're sitting around, and most of the people there, I think, were from St. Thomas, because we graduated with Dawn from high school, mm-hmm. and then she went over to St. Thomas, and then that's where Kevin and Jennifer were, and Jennifer met Steve there, and Dawn met Bert there. So we went, and it was really fun. Actually, there's some new people there, and there was, I want to say a few people maybe from high school. The girl I sat next to was a really cool girl. I think went to North Shore. I can't remember her name now. But so I was sitting across from, or Dawn was to my left, and then I was sitting across from a girl named Andrea and her husband Martin, and they were also from St. Thomas. And so this is a really cool story because, here on Normal Bias, why I wanted to start this podcast was because, about those people in your life who are, in your life down, then and now they show up again. And so Andrea and her husband were there, and we just, of course, we're there for Dawn, and we're just asking her, how did it, I didn't even know Dawn. I'm not going to say I didn't know Dawn was a writer because you've gotten note cards and letters from Dawn. I'm sure she She is the best, like, note writer, card sender, whatever you call it.
She sees you. She's one of those people, like, she sees you. She
She
sees
does.
and she speaks that. Like, she'll, let's say that, like, deep down you want to be a dancer. Like, when she writes to you, she'll call that out and say, you know, and it's just like whatever it is. I mean, it's just, she's very emotionally intelligent, people intelligent, very
Mhm.
self-aware. I mean, she's highly intelligent. She's one of
Crazy.
the loveliest people inside and out I've ever known.
Absolutely. Thoughtful. She's very thoughtful. So, but I never, would I've ever thought she'd have written a book. I just thought that was very cool. So we talked about that, how this came about and, when did she start writing all this and that. And then I remember kind of doing a round table of, everyone went around just saying, oh, well, if you could do something, fun or, what's something you've always wanted to do? And I don't even remember who asked the question, but when it got to me, I was like, well, I've always thought it'd be fun to have a podcast. And I remember Andrea specifically saying, oh, really? That'd be cool. And then her husband, they both kind of asked, well, what would your podcast be about? And I said, well, it's just funny because this was a year ago and this is kind of like what's happening right now. Whoa. I said, well, I think I would just, I said, I think it would be fun to just sit and talk with my friends in my life because the people in my life have been there for me. I think it would be fun to let them know, to thank them or tell them what they mean to me. And I said, and I just think everyone has a story. As like real people, we all have something to share and something for someone to hear. And they're like, that would really be cool, actually. And I was like, thanks. And so, and I can't remember what Andrea's was. I remember her kind of saying, here's what I remember about Andrea. So I met her when in St. Thomas, and she and I knew her name. I know she knew who I was, but I don't know that we ever even had a conversation. It was kind of like, hey, or hi, or, she's in the room, I'm in the room. Yes, just ships in the night kind of thing until last year. And so what I remember about her then and what I thought of her last year was still this very smart, very sweet, intelligent, also thoughtful girl, but kind of on the shy side, just very quiet. And so I thought she was shy. And I remember her talking about just wanting to do something, I know that was out of the box for her, like just start some kind of like movement or, speaking, like just, she was wanting to do some big things. And so I just remember leaving there thinking, oh, that was so cool to reconnect with her. Like, how cool. I hope, all the things for everyone there, and how cool would it be to, to see them again, whatever, and see where everyone goes. And didn't think a thing about it. I mean, so then you and I have the talk back in what is that? March, April?
I think it's like 4 months ago right now.
Yeah, about 4 months ago. So here we are.
Oh, hold on. My math is wrong. It's only been 3 months since we talked.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
I think tomorrow is 3 months since we recorded our first episode.
Oh, my gosh. That's right. The 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's so cool.
3 months.
3 months. Okay. So I spoke it to the universe. I said it out loud. And so legitimately, here we are sitting here, have a podcast where I sit and talk with my friends and I get to tell them how I feel and they get to share their stories. Okay. So, I guess Andrea and I don't know when, it's not very long, 4 or 5 months, she friended me or I friended her on Facebook and, started following each other. And I guess like a month and a half ago, she started posting that she started, it's called Worthy, and it's an online rally and for hope and kindness. And so it's just anyone's invited. It's free. You register, and then she does it at this one. This month was her second one. Last month was the first one. So I joined it. I was like, I want to support her and do this, and and it was really cool. She had like 4 or 5 speakers, and everyone just kind of shares their story, and everyone there really wants to spread hope and kindness and just have a better world, like who doesn't want to do that? And so, but she's just right there guiding it, leading it, being brave and starting this. And it's so cool. And so after that, I text her and it's like, I'm so glad I was in there. I'm so glad I joined you. And that's what a cool thing you're doing. Well, so then she sends me another message and says, thanks. Do you think you'd ever want to maybe be a speaker? And I'm like, well, yeah, maybe I would think about that. Sure, maybe I would think about that. And she's like, great, let me know by Friday if you're interested, because I have one coming up on the 25th of July. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And, she's like, I think you have something to share. I think you'd be great. I really, am inspired by what you post on Facebook. And she's like, I think you would be great. I'm like, okay, thanks. I'll think about it.
And you said yes.
I said yes.
And then
I
you
said
freaked out.
yes. Absolutely 100%. Yeah. Because that's what I do. First of all, I don't usually say yes unless I'm like, have researched it, prayed about it, thought about it, said no, but then thought about it some more. I am scared of everything. And but again, I felt like I wanted to say yes for her because I wanted to support her. That's what I said to myself. Do this for her. Do this for her cause. So I said yes. I said yes even before the Friday, before the deadline. How's that? I said yes, and she said it's on the 25th. She sends me the information. And then, honestly, hope and kindness. I kind of like can talk about that in my sleep because that's just like my soapbox for the last 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
And so I said yes, and she sent me the information, and then she even said, if let me know where you'd like to be in the lineup. I think there was 6 of us, and I'm like, put me dead last. I don't want to be first. And so I spoke. Here's the crazy part. On Friday night, because she even offered, she's like, I told her, I was like, I'm crazy, like nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to not show up. I'm not going to not do it. I was like, but I am freaking out. And she's like, don't worry. She's very calm, very reassuring, just so dang nice. And she's like, just don't worry. She's like, you're going to be great. I believe in you. It's going to be awesome. And so I said, okay. She's like, if we need to talk on Friday before Saturday, please text me, let me know. And I'm like, okay. So Friday comes and I'm like, you know what? I was like, I think I'm okay. I don't need to talk about it. I'm just going to show up. I said, but I don't have anything prepared. I don't know what I'm going to say. And she says, you know what? That's even better. Just speak from your heart. So I say, okay. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon on Friday. So Friday night, I'm already in bed. I'm like, I've got to get some sleep because it's at 10 the next day. And I just like shot out of bed and start printing stuff off the printer. like just some quotes.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, these are going to be just for me to look at to get inspiration from. And so I get there on Saturday. Man, I'm so nervous. But so there's like 50 people there. Dawn was one of them. Thanks, Dawn. I know, right?
Oh, I didn't know you
Yeah.
were gone.
Talk about full circle again. God. And so Dawn was there. A friend, Crystal Cole from high school. Some other St. Thomas people were in there, I think. I can't remember. So there was like 50 people in total, including the speakers. And all of the speakers were just great, and they all just shared. And so when it got to me, the crazy part was I had like 4 quotes, and all 4 of those quotes pretty much tied into what the speakers said. So what ended up being, I told some of my story, but I ended up having like the wrap up. And it was so cool. And it was like, man, God's so cool. Like he knew you got to be at the end. Go say that, like print these out because this is what you're going to need to just wrap it up at the end.
I
And
love
it was, and it just like flowed out and it was awesome like that. And I was just like, why was I so scared? You know, like why did I work myself up so much? Like I should have been confident in knowing that hope and kindness is just something I can talk about like all day long. You know, like I say, I talk about it all the time at the school, like with my quotes, you know, like I encourage the kids to be kind. Anyway, so yeah, so it was really a good thing. I was very glad I did it. A very cool thing that happened at the end was I talked about my iceberg and about how you know, we see the surface and not the bottom. And one of the girl speakers kind of talked about that. She talked about how, well, some of her work people were in the group, and she was really nervous to say the things she wanted to say because the people at work didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end, I was like, you know, I was like, it's kind of like an iceberg. When you're at work, you showed them your surface. I was like, but now you've showed them what's below. And so I don't know if you know this. So at the very end of all of it, Andrea broke us into groups on the Zoom. Like you can do groups. And so we split. Yeah. So we split off into like 6 groups of 4 or something. And so that was a little nerve-wracking too, because I was like, oh no, who am I going to be in there with? What are we going to talk about? But she said, let's take from the whole, you know, iceberg. Let's chip away and let's drop some of the water. Let's get to know each other better. So we did. And so then in there was these 4, it was me and these 3 other men. And I mean, in 5 minutes, I was like, I didn't want to leave that room. I just wanted to talk to them all day. One guy was from Virginia, one man was from the UK, and the other guy was in Waxahachie, Texas. So I was like, if I had said no, I would have missed like. So then I just was so excited the rest of the day. I was just like so happy that I did it, and just so glad to have met those people. One of them really want to hear his story because he didn't really elaborate a whole lot. Actually, I think he's going to be a speaker at her next one in August. But yeah, so if you are thinking of telling someone no, or if you're like been asked to do something like all week, I've just been like, just say yes. just say yes, because you just don't know what it's for you. You're scared because you have to do it. It's for you. It was given to you, that opportunity. So you need to do it so you don't miss something.
I'm going to get that on a shirt. Just say yes.
Just say yes. And so then I woke up, like jumped out of bed, didn't make my bed. How's that? Didn't make my bed. Didn't even care about that. I got up with this, God's like, okay, you need to do this now. And so I haven't said this out loud. I feel like somehow, some way, I'm going to have these Zoom groups. I'm going to have a group for single moms divorced. I'm going to have one for just women who just, or all women, all ages. But I just want girls to just say how they feel, and we're tired and just whatever. So that's one. What was the other one? There's 3 of them. I forgot the other one.
I love it.
But I'm just like,
It's like online groups, online retreats.
Like an online retreat, or like just a support group.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was like, and who knows? I'll just put it out there saying, hey, we're having a Zoom for this today. Man, I wish I could think of the other one, but oh well.
I'll help you.
Okay. But right, I just was like,
I think it's fabulous. And I think about all the people. What was it?
I know what it is. It's a group for people who've lost a parent.
Oh, worst club ever.
Worst club ever.
And I guess technically,
worst club ever.
You're losing a child, losing your spouse. That would be the worst club ever. But since I've only lost a parent, it is. I used to actually. This is so. I used to have these note cards, and I used them all because I would send them to my friends when they lost their parents, because it's, you get to be a certain age and you lose people. And that's how I used to write, is welcome to the saddest club ever. Mm-hmm. Which is, I don't know. I didn't send that to people I don't know, y'all. I'm not that tacky, but it's a whenever, like what you're talking about, like whenever you walk through something, you have that automatic like camaraderie with other people, and you can speak in real terms and be real about it. Cause like I think until you walk that, that's how you learn that cliches don't help. That's how you learn that it's not better necessarily you're in heaven. It's better for them. It's not better for you. Like, you learn all of the things you've said your whole life to make people feel better. Mm-hmm. You learn that really we just said that to make us feel better. Mm-hmm. And then once you've walked it, then you say this, like your language changes to, yeah, it really sucks, but I'm here if you just need to cry or
absolutely. Whatever. And what was so great about this rally, it's called the Worthy Rally for Hope and Kindness. What was awesome about it is it was a safe place. There was zero judgment. So I liked that. Once you started hearing the people stories and just the emotion, it was so real and honest. And you just immediately felt like, oh, I am not alone. And I have just met these people, but like, I feel like this connection with these people who are all over the place, And so that was very cool. I wasn't expecting that. I just wasn't. It was very cool. And so what really stood out also was when you get there and you're thinking, okay, hope and kindness, and you've talked to me about this before. And when I got off of the Zoom, it was so clear to me that all of us there who had spoken, who were in there trying to encourage and motivate and go out into the world and spread hope and kindness. How we got to the hope and kindness was through pain and darkness and tragedy or whatever, with, hard stuff. And so that whole joy and pain, that you'd said are friends. Yes.
That's the closest I'm ever going to get to dancing. I'm just going to tell y'all that now.
I love it. So yeah, so that whole thing, and I think that's when I woke up the next day was, someone's been texting me and reached out to me about her divorce that happened back in November, and we've been comparing notes, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's so similar to mine. And I'm like, you're not alone. Like, this has happened to me. How can I help you get past this hump? And then the next day, someone we know's father died. And I was just like, oh my gosh, and just to tell people that every day it gets better, but some days it just shows up at your door and you got to pick it up and go through it again. It doesn't go away. And I just felt like if I have a Zoom with people in that hardest club ever, just to say, it may have been 10 years or 3 years for us and just a week for you, but we're here. And if you need to cry today or 10 years later, it's still okay, because that's what happens. It just comes in waves. So yeah, so I've been writing notes down on how to get that even started, but I just feel like I just need to get it started.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm good at starting stuff. It's the sticking with it that I'm not great at, but I can help you get started.
Okay. And
No, no charge.
I love you. I'm sure Andrea, because I even mentioned the guy's name, the guy from the UK that I really was wanting to know more about and connected with.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrea was like, oh, I met him in this group chat or whatever. She's like, here you go join it. And I'm like, okay.
Is he a single guy from the UK?
What's that?
Is he a single guy from the UK?
I'm not real sure, but Roger is maybe 20 years older than me. Super cool guy. Super cool. I don't know if he's married or not. I know his name's Roger. I know he's from the UK. I know that he goes and speaks about his story that happened, the thing that happened to him, to like schools and places. But that's all I know.
Maybe Roger's going to write a book one day.
Maybe Roger's going to write a book one day.
Maybe he has. You got to find it.
Yeah. I'm like, y'all.
Roger, we need to know more. Roger,
I need to know more. I can't wait till August 20, whatever day she said is the last Saturday in August, because I'm going to go listen to him. Like, already, what is that? What do you call me? I'm such a groupie. I am like, I will be a fan of something like immediately and hardcore. I can't stop talking about it.
So that's one of the things that I love about us, is because you are the joiner. Like, you're such a joiner, and I'm the, I don't know if I can commit to any, I don't watch anything. I don't listen to anything. I do read. I read quite a bit, but I
wish I read more.
I'm the anti-joiner. I'm like I live in my head and in my little house and my little family. And you're like, come on, world.
I mean, but I do that too. I do all of this inside my house.
But I love that about you. I love the energy. I love just the energy that you put out into the world. And it's such a good, positive, you just pure love and hope and kindness and joy and all the things like you push. I know that you have other stuff in there. I know that it's kind of dark and twirly and all the things. But what you're putting out is so good.
Well, thank you.
I just love
I do. I just love people. And I don't know. By the way, can I just say that I have loved your calendar, your gratitude photo of the day. That has really helped me this month. And I told you that July is typically very, very rough for me. And this is probably the first July in 6 years that I have been okay. And I know it's part of your photos of the day, speaking Andrea's thing too, but just, I just love talking to people and meeting people and hearing their stories, like just taking that picture. So on whatever day that was, it was detail. And I put a picture of your house, which I could have put in
yesterday, I think.
Yeah. Because I look at that picture and I'm like, color, it says so many things about you and your family and who y'all are. And I can there's like fingerprints there, like the confetti and the baking, like there's just I just love that. Like, I'm the person, when you go to a garage sale, I like look at the stuff and I'm like, oh, they like Michael Jackson. Oh, well, he must be a golfer. Oh, but not anymore. He's selling his clubs. You know, like
I bet you open the books to see if anybody wrote in them.
I open the books to see if anybody wrote in them. Yes. Are there dog ears? Oh, let me read the page that the dog eared. Like, I don't know if that's curious, but I just love knowing about the people.
Can you
Yes.
see the dog ears in this book? Okay, first of all, I don't know if anybody's actually watching this or listening to this, but I posted a picture of this. My book loving friends went nuts
About doing the dog ears?
And not only did I fold them up there, I folded them down here. And also I took it in the pool and got it wet because I want to go back and remember. And when I read digitally, I'll clip it and put it in a note. But I need to come back. I want to come back and read this book again and again and again. It's where we are now with one of our children. And,
that's her that's the love.
This is actually her fourth book. She did Hands Free Mama, Hands Free Life, Only Love Today.
Only Love Today. I love that book.
Every day, like a devotional. And I think probably maybe next Wednesday we'll talk about one of those. But this one is our fourth book, and it is about adolescence and just about kids. And I love reading about this age because one of my kids like is my clone, and one of my kids like we are not wired the same way. And it's helpful to me to read and learn, not just to read about other families, but to learn from other parents who have walked ahead and lived through this age and all of the things. And so, because I definitely don't have the answers.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Isn't that funny? I'm realizing that, especially right now with the whole, I hate to even say this out loud, it's so sensitive right now, the whole go back to school, not back to school situation. Is that
the best bottle feed? Like, I mean, like we're always going to have something to fight about.
Right. Always have something to fight about. And it's just, there's always more questions than there are answers.
Mm-hmm. And none of us knows. None of us knows the right way.
No one knows. No one knows. And how I feel about it is do what is right and okay for your family, and be okay with that. I feel like so much is, I want to keep my kids home, but everyone else is sending their kids to school. What are they going to say about me? How, like the whole judgment and the whole, want to fit in stuff. There's just so much entangled in that whole thing that I just don't, if it's right for y'all, then just be okay with it being okay.
Yeah. And I think that, one of the things that we know about people is people have such strong reactions and debates and things like that. Maybe not even because they have such strong feelings about what you're choosing, but because they're afraid that what they're choosing isn't right, isn't accepted. So that fear comes across as anger and loud and all the things. And we just all need grace. Like I am not ashamed or afraid to tell you, and I don't know if it's the right decision, but one of our kids wants to go back and one of our kids wants to stay home. It's not that they want to. We believe it's right for one to go back and one to stay home. Mm-hmm. And the one that's staying home, senior year, she's class president, she's on the cheer squad, like she's the mascot. What is she going to miss out on by not starting face-to-face instruction? And that is a little bit hard, but what it comes back to is we know that that's right for her. Mm-hmm. And our son, he needs the people. He needs this 12 years old, 7th grade, junior high. I think it's probably the hardest time in your life. And I think he needs to walk through it. Mm-hmm. He's got to get through it. And he's not going to be able to do that here. There's so many milestones. Casey's okay if she misses a milestone. He needs the milestones. Mm-hmm. So he needs to do all the things that 12-year-olds.
Hey y'all, are you still watching? Are you still listening? Oh, hey Mom.
We're so glad that you're still with us. If you want to connect online, we're at www.normalbiaspodcast.com, or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube.
And our very favorite, if we made you a mixtape, we'd put all those songs on our Spotify playlist for you.
All the things.